Hi everyone, I'm Lila from Little Beetle Chocolates, and today's question is white chocolate really chocolate? You will get my answer at the end. Um, I brought along a white chocolate bar to show you and to explain a little bit about what is white chocolate. So white chocolate is essentially made up of three main ingredients: cocoa butter, milk powder, and sugar. Usually industrial or supermarket bars will have added vanilla and soy lecithin in it, such as milk or dark chocolate bars. But craft chocolate bars usually tend to skip these two ingredients to stay more authentic to the cocoa itself. There's one other thing, very important thing, that is a difference between craft white bars and industrial or mass produced bars, is that the cocoa butter that is used in these bars is not deodorized. If you buy a bar in the supermarket, it's I'm almost 100% sure that it will be using a deodorized cocoa butter, which means that with the chemical process, they take off or take out um, aromatic aromas or smells of the cocoa butter, so they make it odorless. This is very important for products, for example, using cocoa butter, such as lotions or cosmetic products, because they want to give their product a special, specific smell, and not they don't want the product to smell of cocoa butter, which sometimes can be quite strong. So craft chocolate makers usually don't deodorize, so you will have a very interesting and distinctive smell of the cocoa, and this can vary from plantation to plantation, from bar to bar, depending on the cocoa variety again. And lastly, the very important thing about cocoa butter is that it's actually cocoa butter that is carrying the flavor components of a chocolate in all kinds of chocolates. So when it melts on your tongue, that's when the flavor is released. So it's a very important part in the chocolate. White chocolate, more precisely, is made out of cocoa butter, sugar, and milk powder, as I said earlier. In any white chocolate bar, the standard minimum of cocoa butter has to be at least 20%, and that's what usually you get in a supermarket bar. So that's 20% cocoa butter, milk powder, and sugar, which sugar usually takes up almost 70% of the whole bar, which is a lot. Um, to compare, for example, this bar made by Akasan is 43% cocoa butter, so almost half of the bar is made out of cocoa butter. That means double the amount of cocoa butter. So again, much less sugar. The sugar content is can be compared to the sugar content of a 70% dark chocolate bar, which is unbelievable because what we are used to with these 20% cocoa butter content bars is that white chocolate is sickly sweet, cloying almost, and very, very fattening because of the high sugar content. So once you turn to craft chocolate white bars, you will see that they are not overly sweet, almost, that you don't get that kind of sickly sweet feeling. There's no added vanilla, so you won't have that kind of very sweet thought when you actually smell it. It doesn't smell sweet at all, and it doesn't smell of vanilla because there's no vanilla in it. It's just the fact that we associate white chocolate with vanilla, but we shouldn't, because it has its own very distinctive flavor and smell once you get an undeodorized cocoa butter. Um, yeah, so no vanilla, no deodorized cocoa butter, but very high amounts of cocoa butter. Um, I really recommend you to try a bar like that if you can find. There's many makers now who started to release bars like that. This is one of the best ones, I think, at Casson. You can find bars made by Pump Street Chocolate, who press their own cocoa butter as well. Willy's Cacao has got a very nice Venezuelan one. I really recommend you to try. And yes, white chocolate is chocolate because it's made up of cocoa butter, which is half of a cocoa bean. So it's just missing the cocoa solids bit, but it has plenty of flavor on its own. It's beautiful. It's really good for your skin. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll be able to find a very good quality craft white chocolate to try. Enjoy, and thanks for watching.